everybody, to the Unagi Sayaka Watch, where we keep updates on Unagi Sayaka and her progress as a freelancer. For those who are having a hard time as big fans, what Unagi Sayaka has been doing since she left Stardom, going freelancing. Lucky for you, I have been keeping up on what she's been doing, appearing in Marvelous, Glee, Sandai Girls, or wherever promotion she decides to pop her head up to. So, I am your host, J-Rod here, so let's begin. Now, we're going to be talk about her recent matches that took place. The first one we're going to be talking about is with ZERO1. Um, as you know, this was a very, to me, I like to say this was a very special match because this is where Unagi teams up with Nanami, but her opponent, well, one of her opponents, was the one who requested this match, and that person is, many of you may know her, or should I say, majority of you, if you guys are big Yoshi fans on this channel, we're talking about Jungle Kiona. Now, to recap, for some of you, you may ask yourselves, why would Jungle Kiona requested this match? Well, a while back, Jungle Kiona explains her reasons. You see, Jungle Kiona and Unagi have never met. If you guys been aware of that, uh, Jungle Kiona was out of action since October of 2020, but Unagi made her debut a month later. But she never had the privilege to meet Joe Kiona because Kiona was out on injury because of that. However, Joe Kiona mentioned over time, many of her fans have tagged her on her social media. Were saying that Joe Kiona kind of resembles, Unagi Sayaka resembles Kiona. Now, you can say, what are they talking about? I mean, it does seem like a little silly, but that's the reason. Now, as you know, Joe Kiona left Stardom in 2021 due to the fact she was out of action longer than she expected. And of course, we know that Joe Kiona and Unagi have been making bigger buzzes in the independent scenes. That's always been good. So when this match was requested, um, it was going to be her with Jaguar Yokota from Diana. Of course, ironically, Nanami's also from that promotion too. But to make this clear on the record, I did not see the match. But however, this match was won by John Kiona and Jaguar. It was Nanami who was the one who got pinned or submitted. I just can't remember because I can't find anything where I can watch it. But however, I will. There's these photos that I'm gonna put at the end of this video where you guys can see um, Jungle Kiona and Unagi embracing each other like they have newfound respect for each other. However, I know if you guys know Unagi very well, she's the kind of wrestler who would like to assess her opponent, and I'm sure that Jungle Kiona would be an excellent assessment to her. But however, this particular day was one of her last two matches until she goes on her indefinite hiatus. Um, there was a moment where Joe Kiona made a promise that they will be meet each other, and in the back, she made it clear. If you guys have been aware of this, Unagi and Joe Kiona, they have their cheeks marked with colors on their with colors. So there was a part where Joe Kiona, you can see on a photo where she's like marking the promise, basically saying that when I come back, you and I will have our singles competition. I mean, I feel like this was a very emotional moment because these two have never met, but yet people are saying that they resemble each other. I don't know what's the purpose, but I wouldn't be surprised not only that if one day they do meet, have their singles match, then they decide to team up. I mean, some wrestlers feel more better being freelancers than being in a big company, and I think that would be interesting to see. But I will post those photos, and you guys will get to see them. Now, our next match, I will put the video on this one on the link on the description down below. This was from Marvelous, where Unagi teams up with AOI. They take on Itsuki Aoki and Miu Momono. Now, the strange thing is about this, if you guys been aware, on the 21st of this month, Unagi will be teaming up with Aoki. And this is the interesting thing. They're opposites of each other on this match, but the next event they see each other, they're side by side, which was very interesting. There was a moment like they were having a very interesting interaction, and they screamed their lungs out like ah, and then they just walk and tag their partners out. However, the match was pretty interesting. However, I can tell from the look that Mio Momono, who in fact doesn't like Unagi because Mio is a marvelous homegrown girl who does not appreciate someone like Unagi coming to her turf, but uh, she picked up the win by applying a diving body splash onto AOI to pick up the win. But you can tell that this thing between Unagi and Mio Momono is not even over. But I don't know how the interaction with Aoki and Unagi will be on the 21st at GLEAT. But it will be interesting to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a match between Miyu and Unagi down the line. Now, this one I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy. I will post a video on this one. Is the one where Unagi, as you know, made her appearance in All Japan. Now, for those who been keeping up, good for you. Those who haven't, I'll explain. A while back, Unagi Sayaka was getting into a Twitter, not a feud, more like a disagreement, agreement, however you want to call it, with Suwama. So I don't know. Cannot remember what was the tweet about. However, last month, Unagi made a surprise appearance in All Japan, which was very interesting when it was happening in real time. All Japan was like surprised to hear it, but they gave her a staff badge, and she actually was sitting in the press box. But I knew for some reason that she was there to antagonize Suwama for some odd reason. I just had that feeling. But when Suwama saw her, he was like right there, not happy to see her right in his face. However, Unagi followed him in the back. They talked. He did not like what she was talking about how innocent he looked in his debut match. So he said that he was going to talk to Yuhiki and Ozaki for her misdeeds. But as soon as that happened, she saw Yoshitatsu, who she says that he dressed kind of like her. But Yoshitatsu said that he's been keeping an eye on her, and they were a lot alike. So later, the match was between Suwama teaming up with Yuiki and Ozaki of Oz Academy, or better known as Ozaki-gun. Um, they're together. They're known as the demonic trio. So the obvious thing that was later showed who was going to be Unagi's tag team partners. Well, to me, it was a no-brainer with Yoshitatsu because their interaction. It was like she was like, "Okay, I seen." I don't know if Unagi thought that Yoshitatsu was like a male version of herself. You know what I mean? That's always been like my thought. But the obvious thing is who was going to be the third partner. I knew it was going to be another Yoshi wrestler. But the obvious question was, who was it going to be? Now, I knew it was not going to be Rina Makura. I know it's not going to be AOI. I knew it was not going to be Nanami. But, however, I had that distinct feeling that it had to be Saki for three specific reasons. Why? Saki, for reason number one, I know for a long time, ever since Cosmic Angels and Colors merged as an alliance, I know Unagi wanted a tag with her. And Saki have tried to keep her distance, but at times they have worked out their little things, Unagi being Unagi. Second reason. Um, Second reason was, let's just say that I don't know. Um, let's just say I wasn't sure if Saki will be how to say wanted payback for what happened to her. If you guys don't remember, last year there was a 60 or 50 or 60 anniversary with Cork Hall. So there was a match with Saki with what's her name now? Goes so I forgot who was the top champion of Marvelous before Hikaru Shida and Suzuku. She was with her, and also Takumi Iroha, but it was the match with both Yuhiki and Ozaki teaming with Starlight Kid. she got missed in the face, and that was one of the reasons. And three, I believe, hell, she's like the only person that she knows she can count on because um, Saki's a freelancer. Basically, if she's a freelancer, Unagi's a freelancer. So that's pretty good. But I wasn't too sure if I was able to see the match. But however, uh, I will put the YouTube video of that on the description down below. But before I do, you guys are you're gonna think I'm joking. You think I'm bullshitting here. Uh, Before the match ever started, they played the Cosmic Angels theme, the entrance theme, and Yoshitatsu was getting along with it. I'm not joking. The video shows it. And some people can say, Yoshitatsu put a lot of effort. It's not 100% perfect, but he does put. You can say that his dancing part would put Waka to shame. I mean, I've always talked about how Waka doesn't have any rhythm when it comes to the dancing part, but she does put the effort to it to try and get better at it. That's something I've always been positive about it. But that's how it is. But the match itself, as you know, Sumama would love nothing more to teach Unagi a lesson for all the, you know, how to say, miscreants that she's been causing him. But there was a moment that he was a bit hesitant to hit a girl, like Yuhiki and by the hair. But Ozaki and Yuhiki were not pleased with what her deal is. But one thing I do know is that there was a moment where, once again, the red mist again, but this time is Yoshitatsu received the the end of it, but it was him who picked up the win. But Unagi did say that this thing between them is far, far from over. But this is what she's saying. Together, Unagi with Saki and Yoshitatsu, they're calling themselves Tsuchinoko, which, from what I read, is a mythical fish. I mean, it's interesting. Now, no, Yoshitatsu is not a member of Cosmic Angels, if that's what you guys thinking, because he danced the dance. No. But someone did tweeted this saying they should create a male division with the Cosmic Angels. Have Taichi, Kanemaru, and Yoshitatsu. I mean, it would be interesting, but I highly doubt that Taichi and Kanemaru are going to do that. Even though they're good friends with Tam and Natsupoi. Um, but from what I can see, it was a very good, interesting story. I'm sure that this is far from over between them, but however, Suwama stayed on Ozaki-gun's good grace, and they considered him as an ally. But I'm sure that this thing between them and with Unagi is far from over. Like I said before, I will post a video on the bottom. Uh, uh, as for her schedule, if you guys want to know, she does have two back-to-back events on March 17th and March 18th with Pro Wrestling Zero. I know one of them she will be tagging with Madeline. After this one, on the 21st, is of course is when she teams up with Izuki Aoki for GLEAT. They take on Yukari Ozokawa and of course Michiko Miyagi. So I'm looking forward to that one. So I think that's pretty much it with Unagi. If there's anything else, I'll put that in the next on the next Unagi Sayaka Watch episode. So right now, I'll see you guys in the next episode. So I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.